Alright, making a video. I did something I rarely do. This is my third start of the video because I didn't like the intros. It's strange. Anyway, I did see a video this morning, Piro, 17 minutes of, I don't know, pretty much saying nothing. But one of his arguments was that, Gary's made response videos to me and I haven't seen them because it's too much trouble to go to that Do Not God website or to go find his videos or to, bookmark his homepage. Just all kind of lame bullshit. I'm not subscribed to you, Piro, but I seem to find your videos miraculously because I care to, because I'm interested enough. So basically you're just saying I'm not interesting enough. Okay, fine. I frankly don't think I get rewarded for bothering with your videos, but nonetheless I do watch them in case you might make a cogent argument relevant to the subject. And so let's get to that. Because you did make a response video to me, and you played clips and all that kind of crap, but exactly that. You just quote mined. You just took the stuff that were the softballs, the easy ones to hit, and you just ran like hell from the ones you still haven't answered, which are the analogies to drunk driving and the analogy to gambling with somebody else's money. Both questions you have preposterously ludicrous answers to. As to the gambling metaphor, you just say, I like losing. Yeah, you like losing other people's money. Brilliant. Taking the risk of giving somebody spina bifida, it just kind of exhilarates you. It adds a real charm to your life, taking the risk of giving somebody else ALS. Yeah, I can't wait to watch my kid choke on his own saliva. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, sorry. You've just copped out entirely. This is a major argument. It's not a minor argument. It's, there's a 50-50 argument here. Two big arguments for antinatalism. One, the fail-safe is nothing. And the second argument is, this is an imposition. And you can't get out of that fact that you're imposing the losses without having any signed contract. You have no terms of service that's signed. You have no right to this intrusion into what was my peaceful slumber in the eternal nothingness. You have no right to drag me to this cesspool, which it actually is, technically, and oblige me to stomp around in it with the rest of you fucktards. It's like if human beings were actually retarded. And what if they gave birth to somebody who wasn't retarded? What kind of nightmare would that be, to have retards as parents? Holy shit. Yeah, and then that's the world we live in. You breeders breed because you're stupid, reckless, irresponsible, egomaniacal. Now, I'm not going to come up with a single word that's going to make you sound anything like intelligent or responsible. So any words that have anything to do with intelligence and accountability, that's that as good as it can get line. Yeah, I think of a man and remove reason and accountability. And yeah, that's how you're behaving. You're cliche retards. You're cliche, irresponsible, reckless, rednecky assholes, and you're just rationalizing your behavior. You're just saying, I didn't kill nobody when I was drinking and driving last night, so you can't point a finger at me and say I was bad. Well, yes I can. You're bad. You're very, very bad. And until the bad stops, until the bad people acknowledge their badness, yeah, they'll keep going. And that's sort of how it works. We have a democracy run by a bunch of people who have no comprehension of the Constitution, no comprehension of fairness, and so we've created we've got a ton of law that's completely unconstitutional, and because it benefits the majority, they're perfectly satisfied. That's exactly what they want. They don't want an ethical society, they want a cheater society. They want a might makes right society. And that's all you've got on your side. You don't have any logical defense. If you were a minority, in the society, let's say. Let's say the vast majority of people understood reproduction to be mindless nonsense. You'd have nothing to defend your minority status with. Nothing. You couldn't even make any kind of, even a peep of an argument. It'd be like defending drunk driving or defending even a rape. It's a fucking silly, idiotic, selfish indulgence at the potential expense of someone else. And that's it. There's nothing else to say here. It's like saying, if there was some technique that worked in a bar 1 in 100 times, like you flashing your dick out at a woman and saying, "You want some of this, babe?" Let's say that worked 1 in 100 times. Would it be okay to offend the 99 to get your 1? I don't think so. And conversely, if it worked 99% of the time but offended the hell out of one person, I mean, faint, fall on the floor, spasms, convulsions, horror, would you still do it? Yeah, see, it's all about imposing, and you just think you have a right to be an imposer because you somehow think, because, well, everybody else is doing it, we're all chasing unicorns, so unicorn chasing is okay, and fuck it if we run over a few people doing it. And that's really the core argument here, is that your reproduction oh, I'm going to choke on air again. Whoa, that was fun. Yeah, I just had the 2 biggest sneezes of my life. Whew, I need a cigarette. Wow, that was good stuff. Anyway, wherever the fuck I was, a little distracted now. Air. Yeah, so anyway, this imposition thing has got to be acknowledged. And it's got to be acknowledged that it's a joyride imposition. It's not a necessity. It is not a rescue mission. Again, these are arguments when you do your little quote mining that you just slough right over, you fly right past them. Instead, you'll argue about the color of the paint on the wall or some other kind of bullshit. You argue the irrelevancies, like the fact that you're blocked because you couldn't figure out after I told you like 7 times, I don't like comment spam. And then you say you comment 8 times on one video. I mean, without any responses to the comments. Just comment, 1 sentence, comment, 1 sentence, comment, 1 sentence. I mean, I hate that shit. I made it kind of clear I hate that shit. And you went and did it again. I mean, fuck. But who cares anyway? I'm not obliged to be part of the YouTube indexing system. And so again, if you're going to make some lame argument that I'm not worth the trouble, fine. I mean, if you would like me to throw you in the same not worth the trouble category, I'll do it, because you don't show up in my subscription box. So I'll discontinue my viewership of your videos if you would prefer, and I'll ignore you. How would that be? It probably would be best, because really, when I think about it, there's no value in this conversation. It always comes down to the same thing. You have unicorn stuck in your head. You will not acknowledge either that unintelligent design has a real consequence, or even basic facts. Like I said, you just keep running from them. Or that that we cannot individually live our lives without taking responsibility for what the consequence is to all of humanity. When you breed, you are potentially creating hundreds of thousands, millions, billions of people. That's the potentiality. It's all your experiment. And how are you going to clean up the mess if it creates dioxin? How are you going to fix it if it goes wrong? And you're not. And that's the simple truth. You're just going to say, my bad, too bad. Yeah, there's 7,000 drums of dioxin in my backyard. What are you going to do? Sue me? I got 78 cents in my pocket. You can have that. That's going to be the extent of your accountability, which will be 0. So your argument is, it has no logical foundation. It has no rational premise I didn't reproduce, my cells did it. That's not a rational premise. So what's the foundation for conversation? I don't think there is a foundation. Yeah, you're a likable guy, and that's the end of it. Yeah, let's play some pool and maybe get a little bit funny drunk, and definitely smoke some cigarettes and shit and other shit. And yeah, but doing philosophy, it's a waste of time, because you have no intellectual integrity. I'm sorry, you just don't have any. You just don't care about facts. You don't care, again, about doing logic, and logic requires you to be contained by facts. If you're going to go step outside the facts every damn time, well, there's no logic there. So, fail. Yeah, that's the only answer to that. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, what else? Alright, so I guess we'll stick with this imposition subject since we're on it. Just move it to some other persons. Yeah, so again, this, I will touch upon in a vague way the whole breast subject again. So I know I'm going to take a lot of heat for this because, yeah, it's just some sort of generic response is, oh yeah, let's have naked breasts all over the place. But if people really thought about what that would implicate, I don't think that's what they really want. I mean, we should have free access, but it should be controlled access. Breasts should be at certain places at certain times, available for viewing. Like a zoo. You know, I mean, you should go to the zoo to see a tiger. It shouldn't be roaming around your front yard. There's a right place for that kind of stuff. And, I just don't see a problem with confining it to art and even some sensual recreation in the right context. But to say that you can move it anywhere and it's going to shapeshift to the circumstance, I think is silly. Breasts do not shapeshift. A breast is a breast is a breast is a breast, and it's very hard not to recognize it as one. That's what it is. It screams at you. Yeah. So anyway, enough of that shit. Yeah, sorry, looking for fish. Well, at least the stream is clearing. I don't know, maybe I'll be bold and go over to the pond. Such a failure the last time. But I have a longer stick. It's a big one. Maybe it'll work better. Yeah, maybe we'll try again. I don't die. Alright, so I need subjects because that's a much longer walk. Yeah. Alright, imposition. So we got two big words here. Unintelligent design and imposition. So basically, when people reproduce, they are imposing on somebody an unintelligent design. They're saying, I think you'll be perfectly happy being part of the unintelligent design. And I'll think that based on some number game. Like most kids like it. Most kids get addicted quite easily and find it, quite pleasing to run in their little cage wheel. And there's this downside, but you just pretend that, well, as long as I don't create one of those don't get created. There are no autistic children. That's just a curse that God imposes on those people. Yeah, they did something wrong. And because I did it right, I somehow eliminated the risk. It's just stupid. How else can you rationalize this? Again, it's just this idea that you're willing to impose for a casual accomplishment, a superficial accomplishment, a personal accomplishment. So for your personal gratification, you're willing to take a huge risk that you'll create somebody who will be absolutely miserable or go through experiences that you wouldn't want to experience. Yeah, I mean, how could there's no real other way to look at it. I mean, to me, that it was very early in my nature to be cautious of such impositions. I very early in my life recognized that committing such impositions was a sign of small character and almost evil behavior. That was like almost committing a crime. That was almost like shoplifting or some other theft. I mean, you didn't want to commit an imposition casually or recklessly. You wanted it to be something you did by accident or by lack of knowledge or stupid circumstance, unanticipated result. And none of that can be used as an excuse for reproduction. The truth isn't hidden from people. It's not a mystery. It's right there to be accepted or rejected, and people choose to reject it. So, it's that simple. You're not forced to reject it. You're not obliged to reject it. Ew. Bottom of the stream's all rusty. Ew. Look at this mud coming out of the sewer pipe. Ew. Ew. That's not good. Alright, where was I? Alright, what else can I say about imposition? This is going to be a long video. I probably should cut it short. But why bother? I'm here. I'm out of breath. This is a perfectly good time to make a video. Alright, what else can be said about imposition? Yeah, no, I mean, it's the key ingredient to the logic. And I guess it's the value again. There's just this assumption that the value can be assumed because people have a sense that, oh yeah, this is good. What we're doing is good. Yeah, human living thing. It's definitely good. I mean, I love eating. I love fucking. I love doing certain things. So yeah, it's definitely some good stuff here. That it's enough to justify whatever the downside risk is. No matter how many, cheerleaders, trapped in their car, on their first excursion driving alone after a carbo wreck, and they just slowly, over the next 2 hours, die in their car. Like those little charming experiences are somehow worth paying. That's a worthy price. And it's like, why don't I understand that? That's what you gotta say. I gotta say. I mean, okay, that's what everybody else thinks. That's okay. That's acceptable. I mean, you think about the Civil War even. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people dying of vicious infections, horrible wounds, no anesthesia, very little pain, morphine, very little pain mitigation. It must have been absolutely horrible. Well, how many, I don't know, disco dancing, special human evenings of fun is going to make up for that? I mean, I can't imagine. It just doesn't even occur to me to even try to match those numbers. There's no possible way that makes any sense. Oh, I should go down there. Oh, more goose feathers. No! Stop with the feathers. Please. Ooh, big bass there. Looks kind of murky, damn it. Damn, the stream is pretty clear. I thought this water would be clear. Ooh, that looks like a carcass or something over here. Carcass the goose. Ew, some kind of ugly in there. Ew, ew, ew. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's bubbly water. You know, those bubbles are coming from something though. Alright, no point in fishing for the whatever it is down there that's raising the slime to the surface. Yuck. Yikes. Sorry. So anyway, where was I? Ew, now there's horrible. Look at that. Ew. There's slime on my stick. Ew. There's geese. Ew. Go away. Look at them. Dirty birds. All their goose shitting all over the place. That's probably why the water's not exactly clear. Yeah, well, there's a sunfish. Okay, there's one protecting the nest. That one ought to be brave enough. Alright, till later.